Hey everyone, this is Daniel from PhoneArena with a video preview of this engineering prototype of the Samsung Galaxy Mega 6.3. It's a non-final unit we have here, and we'll be waiting with bated breath for this year's gargantuan phone ideas from Samsung, and the Galaxy Mega 6.3 didn't disappoint with screen diagonal, measuring 6.3 inches across, as the name suggests. It is not meant to be a flagship product given the mid-range for 2013 specs, but rather fit an existing or imaginable marketing niche of users. These would be people who use the handset mostly for media browsing and games rather than actual talking, and want their display as big as possible this side of a tablet screen. The first impression about the phone is darn, it's big. How big, you'd ask? Here's the LG Optimus G Pro, which is no munchkin in itself, with 5.5 inches across, but it still looks small next to the Galaxy Mega 6.3. The second impression is that it is in fact very thin, just 8 millimeters, with an extremely slim bezel, classy faux metal rim all around the sides, and a very nice looking pattern here on the back, which translates to the front as well, the same pattern. It is a very good looking phone. But despite the cool looks, it is almost impossible to operate the Mega 6.3 with one hand. It is lucky if you manage to pull down the notification bar without dropping the phone, let alone pressing the back key with either or left or your right hand. You just have to do a bunch of shenanigans to do this, so two hands are your best bet, and that's the price to pay for a giant display. Otherwise, you'd have to use this Samsung mode for shrinking the dialpad or the keyboard left or right, depending on which hand you're holding the phone with, and quickly key in something or type a quick text message reply, because you can just use this area underneath your thumb. It's pretty good here in the Galaxy Mega 6.3. You can quickly key in a number, but just no replacement for a good one-handed operation. As for carrying it around, you'd better have baggy pants with deep pockets and stretch fabric, or sport a purse. It is not by accident that Samsung is heavily marketing the Note family to women, for example. The 6.3 inches LCD panel sports 720 by 1280 pixels HD resolution with a pretty decent 233 ppi pixel density. This is not a sassy Full HD panel, yet it is a far cry from the 480 by 800 pixels abomination on the 5-inch Galaxy Grand, for example. Color representation seems vivid, though not OLED style saturated, and the display has very good viewing angles, as you can see, but could use more brightness and less reflectivity outside under direct sunlight. The newest TouchWiz Nature UX 2.0, as found on the Galaxy S4, is what's painted over Android 4.2 here, but don't read too much into it, as this is still a non-final unit, a few steps away from polished software, so there'll be some glitches. And most of the hand gestures navigation present on the Galaxy S4, as well as the eye tracking technology, are present here as well. There's one-handed operation mode that shrinks the keypad and encode buttons, as well as calculator and the unlock pattern left or right, depending on which hand you're holding the phone with. But other than that, you're looking at the TouchWiz Nature UX 2.0. Samsung has thankfully provided a dedicated portrait mode for the interface, which helps when you turn the phone sideways like that. Pretty nifty. Speaking of two-handed operation, it is very easy to type on this huge portrait keyboard with both thumbs, since the buttons are so big. So that's one of the advantages of the big display on the Galaxy Mega 6.3. There are other niceties as well, like 6 dock icons here instead of 5. Also, for example, the gallery split screen mode is very easy to operate due to the huge display, as well as the multi-window mode. Huge display, a lot of screen real estate to work with are the main advantages of the Mega 6.3 in the interface. One would argue that Samsung didn't include a stylus, as you can easily do it with your finger here on the large screen canvas, but it's more likely because the Note franchise shouldn't be undermined and the price of this Mega line had to be kept in check. We're gonna run Quadrant here, but again, don't read too much into it. This is still a prototype engineering unit, no final. So when the retail units hit shelves, result might be much higher. We have a 1.7 GHz dual-core Qualcomm Snapdragon 400 here running the Galaxy Mega 6.3, which we actually see for the first time, and paired with the unorthodox 1.5 gigabytes of RAM to boot. We're gonna refrain from benchmarking this non-final unit, reading too much into the results, since there'll be software and driver glitches, of course. The Mega 6.3 comes with 8 gigabytes of internal storage, but you have a micro SD card slot for expansion, situated right on top of the micro SIM compartment, which is next to a generous 3200 milliamperes replaceable battery. Let's see what will this prototype unit score on Quadrant with the comparatively novel Snapdragon 400 processor. Nothing to really write home about. 4198, pretty run-of-the-mill result. The proven TouchWiz browser is what Samsung supplies with the handset, which has one of the fastest rendering engines around, plus native Adobe Flash support. Needless to say, browsing on the 6.3-inch display is a joy. Due to its sheer size, it's akin to browsing on one of the smaller tablets, no kidding. Samsung has put a 21.1 megabits per second HSP Plus radio and usual Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, assisted GPS, NFC and FM radio set. Well, it's not the usual Wi-Fi, as the Mega 6.3 supports the fast 5G one, as long as you have a Wi-Fi AC router, just like the Galaxy S4. And on the bottom, there's an MHL connector to round up the connectivity offerings. We already showed you the gallery, and Samsung's split view mode is a godsend here on the huge display. You can quickly pick and zoom folders, rearrange them any way you want, edit pictures as well with the built-in editor, trim videos, etc. See how easy it is to draw with such a huge display, and edit pictures. The music player sports the usual abundance of functionalities with a number of equalizer presets you can choose from, as you can see, and virtual surround sound modes. They're the useful adapt sound and smart volume modes, which keep the strength at a predetermined level and offer personalized sound settings for each user. For example, let's run a song. You've got a pretty strong loudspeaker, which is on top of that with clear and full enough sound, as you can hear. Our non-final unit plays MPEG-4 videos with ease up to full HD definition, as you can see. This is an MPEG 4 1920 by 1080 definition, and the handset plays it very well, unlike DivX X80 files, but this is a non-final unit with not all the drivers and full capabilities baked in, so don't read too much into that. The 8 megapixel camera module on the back of the Mega 6.3 sports an adjacent LED flash and is joined by 1.9 megapixel unit at the front, capable of HD video recording. The camera app offers the newest interface from Samsung with an abundance of scene modes like best photo, drama, continuous shot, sound and shot, HDR modes, panorama, and so on. There's no dual shot like on the Samsung Galaxy S4, and we don't know if we're gonna see that in the final unit. Video is recorded with Full HD 1920 by 1080 definition at 30 frames per second, and the Nature UX has the shutter key as well as the recording button on one and the same screen, speeding up capture. From the looks of it, the Samsung Galaxy Mega 6.3 design and weight is an achievement for such an enormous screen size and the giant 3200 mAh battery pack. The display panel actually makes a great phone for browsing the web, watching videos, reading, editing pics, and getting things done with the multi-window mode due to its sheer diagonal size. As for calling, carrying around, and mere handling, for example, it is not so great, bordering on masochism, especially in pant pockets rather than a purse. There's just no easy way to grip the phone in your palm, despite the svelte waistline, and most of the time it will be occupying both of your hands, even for simple procedures like, for example, pressing the back button. If you consider the phone to be more of a micro tablet with calling functions rather than a traditional phone, then you'll be spared a lot of the initial confusion that comes with the Mega 6.3. Samsung is apparently not aiming the phone for the mainstream user and for those who want the largest screen in the most compact package aimed at media consumption. This will be it, and we'll be waiting for the final unit polish and the first sales numbers before we pass a verdict. This was a video preview of a non-final Samsung Galaxy Mega 6.3 unit from PhoneArena. For more information about this and other handsets, you can visit us at PhoneArena.com. Thanks for watching.